Coffee, 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 coffee. This is COFOH Live and Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier, and I am joined by the amazing Elisa Sargent and Joe Curnes. Something on my face.
Oh, there we go.
Hello! How you guys doing? Elisa, Joe, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
So for everybody that isn't aware, you guys are working on an amazing film project, something called When Big Things Attack. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you guys met, and how you guys started working on this project? Elisa, can we start with you?
Well, I think When Big Things Attack goes back 20, maybe 30 years. My little brothers weren't getting along, so we took the family camera and we sort of invented big things coming from outer space and attacking. And then the story just kind of evolved through the years, and a couple people have encouraged me to write it and rewrite it. And I had a friend in film school that got it to be a little bit more of a different origin story than outer space. So it's kind of evolved from there. And then I was introduced to Joe from a couple of friends. It's Joe's Emily's dad. So that's how I met Joe. And Joe is an engineer. And
Who's Emily?
Emily's a friend.
Nice. Joe, what kind of attracted you to this project?
Oh, the personal challenge. I've never done this, and I'm always looking for an opportunity to do something I've never done. So,
nice.
Personal challenge.
Nice. Now, Elisa, you originally developed When Big Things Attack. I mean, its first incarnation to the public was a comic book that you did with Larissa Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that process and how that differs from being made into a film?
Well, I already had the script. I was at Colorado Film School, and so I had written up a script for this to be kind of a short, weird film. It was originally a musical. And then I have this friend, Daniel Crosier, and he kept telling me to turn it into a comic book. So I was like, oh, okay. So met with Larissa Hughes, met her at Fort Collins Comic-Con, and she came over to the house, and we'd already built a bunch of weird puppets,
Right.
bunch of creatures, a huge creature. We have a wedding cake that's massive. And Larissa was able to nail it. She got the essence of it immediately, and
Nice.
we wrote it up. And 6 months later, we released it at Fort Collins Comic-Con. So.
Nice. That's cool. What was the reception like?
Oh, people were really excited because by that time, Joe had built us a little mechanized cupcake in a cage, like a bird cage, and it was slammed up against the cage wall. So a lot of folks came over to see that and got a lot of interest in the book from that. But
Nice.
mostly because of Joe and his creations.
That's pretty fun. So, Joe, about these, these pastries and when Bake Things attacks, for the most part, they're cupcakes. They're killer cupcakes, right?
Yes.
How do you go about kind of innovating something like that? I mean, that's for like essentially first time filmmakers. That's pretty ambitious, project to take on, building like a little army of killer cupcakes.
Well, I've made a variety of. I initially went to the University of Northern Colorado to be an art teacher. I'm really not able to work in the public school system, and I just graduated with a degree, ceramics and sculpture. And in doing the sculpture, evolved to the kinetic sculpture. That wasn't just a snapshot in time. And then from there went to interactive or kinetic sculpture. So from that made a variety of projects over the years. Right out of college, worked a little bit with the Children's Museum in Denver, at the old location on Bannock, making a variety of mechanisms. So again, the kinetic sculpture fit in there.
Yeah.
And just enjoy doing that. Now, live, my apologies, a little bit of an echo was getting to me. But the life interfered. I really drifted away from my art, but continued to hone my skills on methods and materials. So
nice.
Became a welder, worked in heating, ventilation, got into the controls portion of that. Transitioned from pneumatics, analog to digital, just on the user end, but got an understanding of the basic code from that. And then, 8 years ago, discovered Arduino, and that enabled me to make toys. The ones right before this project that I did, I don't know if you can see this guy.
Yeah, if you can bring him to the camera. That's cool.
Let me get the light on here a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah,
this is
there you go.
The last ones that I did, and he's a guard, and
that's cool.
Track. So he's tracking me right now as a. Now, if I get closer, he starts to go into attack mode, and then now he goes back into like patrol mode. So this type of thing, that is what I love to do. The next one along these lines would be a garden light. I also make the hate to say gargoyles, but grotesques.
The grotesques.
Yeah, since they aren't rain gutters. This guy back in the corner.
I see him.
From a long time ago. That's from 40 years ago. I only have him because he was packed away in a Halloween stuff. We used to do a wizard's room. This is the working on. You can imagine.
Wow!
That's just modeling clay, and some basic mechanics. I want his head to turn. I'd love to get his arm holding the light to respond to people entering the walkway.
Oh, cool!
But I don't think I can get the arms to move. I'll be doing good just to get this. This would be cast in resin with an aggregate. Years ago, went to a fiberglass outfit where they were making signs. One of the projects was for a coal mine. Their big chunk of coal fell apart out front, so it was making a mess. So these folks made a fiberglass mold of their huge piece of coal, and it looked very realistic. They're also making replacement pieces for the Catholic Church on Colfax there near the Capitol. Immaculate Conception or something like that. But anyway, choosing the right color, resin, and aggregate, and then sandblasting it, we cannot tell the difference between their reproductions and the original stone.
Wow.
So trying something like that for this little grotesque.
Nice, that texture.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
wow, that's going to be impressive.
Well, maybe we'll have to see. I'm still searching for the right sensors. The sensor is an ultrasonic, and it works pretty good, but you have to see it. I mean, it has to be seen. I'll look some directional microwave sensors, and we'll see what they look like when they get here. So still looking for parts. So
nice.
That's what I'm playing with. Other projects on my list for years, I've wanted to make a dancing 16-legged footstool. So if you imagine a footstool being able to do that.
That's awesome.
Now, physically getting the weight down, getting it to where it has enough power to do it. Just one problem after another. But I'm going to pick that one back up. And since I'm going to have to plug it in, I think I will play to that. That there'll be a plug that says plug me in. There'll be an outlet there, you plug it in. The little ottoman starts going across the floor. Finds the end of the extension, the end of the cord. Tries it a couple of times. Turns, acknowledges the cord. Turns back, makes a break for it. Pulling out cord. Perhaps.
Oh my God. That sounds awesome.
So it's going to walk on legs?
Yes. Just physically, march. So,
wow.
We'll see if I can pull that one off. That's would be an ultimate dream of mine to pull that one off. Might have to do a series of those.
Man, that sounds fantastic, Joe. Elise, for those that aren't familiar with When Bake Things Attack, the comic book, and you guys going into the movie, can you give us a little bit of a synopsis? What is the film about?
Well, the big picture is it's about a jilted pastry chef, and he gets a demonic cookbook and uses it to enchant the pastries at his beloved's wedding. So it's a bit of a love story, a little bit of heartbreak before Joe's creatures attack.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
because this is essentially is your first feature film, right? That you're making.
Yes. That I'm doing. I've worked with some other folks on some out of film school, but
But you're writer, director, producer on this, creator. I can only imagine, this has got to be a pretty big, daunting task, especially incorporating, puppets and everything. Mm-hmm. What goes into something like this?
Well, we've definitely been taking our time, but I think Joe actually has been one of the biggest driving forces. Joe, he's constantly pinging us. He's like, when are we doing this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And we get this picture of this terrifying creature. And he's like, do you like the eyes? Do you like, so Joe's really a good driving force. So I think if we were going to encourage anyone else to do it, I would say definitely get yourself a Joe.
Nice. Right. Yeah, if you were to kind of relay this to somebody, what kind of inspirations do you draw upon for this film? Since it's like killer cupcake type things, is it very much in the wheelhouse of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, or is it more Gremlins or Critters, or
I think it's manifesting as its own thing. If I was gonna say get inspiration from anything, it's every time I pass a bakery, like a good bakery, and I look in the window and I see them, and they're staring. Once you see the eyes and the fangs, and you can't unsee it. So it just kind of steamrolls from there. But Joe's doing a lot of his own design work and stuff. So I'd be interested to see where Joe's getting inspiration from, because it sounds like he's creating killer furniture at this point.
Nice.
Yes.
I haven't heard about the furniture before, Joe.
Can I share with you the cage one?
Right. Sure.
Oh yeah.
Just put him together.
Here he is.
Ooh.
Oh, there he's moving.
Look at him go.
So this is intended to be a ongoing display that it just kind of sits and runs by itself.
Yeah. Nice. Wow, that's cool. Is he like timed out? Is he running a track, or is he responding to you?
Random. It's the random turn, random pause, random mouth position. So as far as the Adreno is concerned, there's an algorithm that gives it a random appearance.
I
Wow.
hope it's not AI.
No,
Everybody's become self-aware.
Yeah, please, no
How did you
Skynet
program
stuff.
again?
So yes, I'm real anxious to get some real AI stuff going, but that's really way beyond me.
Joe, if it is AI, do you have to just keep reminding it? It's like, hey, I'm helping you here, okay? When you take over, just make me a pet.
Yes.
Oh dear. Yeah. So with When Big Things Attack, this is going to be a production that's going on in Colorado. Elise, can you talk about a little bit about kind of what you see going on as far as filmmaking in Colorado, and how your production kind of fits in?
Well, I've got a lot of support, but it's from kind of groups that support you in anything. It's folks that definitely support the comic book. It's, we have the other comic book, Stanley Kaiju and the Subterranean Bunny Defenders. So we've got a couple of comic books we've gotten a lot of support from. And then as we're doing this, we've got Colorado Festival of Horror kicked in, and a lot of their volunteers have kind of showed up. We've gotten folks to edit the script, to read the script, to give us feedback. We've got folks that are helping us get the website ready for Colorado Festival of Horror, where we're going to go ahead and launch. We've got some producers up in northern Colorado that are helping us actually get a lot of our contracts together. So it's a good group, but it kind of centers around the Colorado Festival of Horror and people there getting interested in it. It is children's horror, so we've got a little bit of a fresh twist as well, with some folks who want to help us. That's what I would say about that. We've got some folks in Trinidad that really want us to shoot a part of the film down there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. That's the thing too. Like with the genre of like horror comedy, more family friendly, horror films. I mean, there actually is, quite a few out there. Like, more recently, I think the most popular ones that are the adaptations of the R.L. Stine, Goosebump, series into feature films. The more popular ones, I think, have like Jack Black in there, and then you've got some offshoots of like that Harry Potter genre of young adult, book adaptations. I think Eli Roth just did one too, also with Jack Black. It's like what was it? the clock in the wall or something like that. Yeah, somebody in the comment section can always, correct me. But yeah, you've got a few of those. I think this is one that has kind of a cool B movie component.
It does.
and I'm helping you guys on the project, and I guess I'm a motivating factor behind the comic book. But so I've read it a couple of times, once or twice. And the heroes are the kids. These two little goth kids that get involved, and I think it's just like kids and everybody else. As an audience member, kids also like to see themselves represented on the big screen as the heroes, from time to time and stuff. Wedding planners too. They like to be looked at as heroes.
Yeah. In R.L. Stein, speaking of R.L. Stein, he did teach a master class on sort of children's horror. And that is something I caught online a couple of years ago. And it's funny. He gives some practical advice, but people also ask him, it's like, where do you get your ideas from? And he's just like, it just comes. I saw his kitchen sponge and I was like, that's creepy. And so he wrote this whole horror thing on the sponge. And, I think it's a little bit the same with me. I see the restricted window and I'm like, I think if you got too close, it might jump in your face. So you better stay back. It just kind of steamrolls from there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that too. Like R.L. Stein also has a tremendous work ethic, like working 8 hours a day, works from an outline. It's very, it's creative, but it's also, he's got a mechanics to it as well. Mm-hmm. You got your guys like Stephen King too. He'll sit there for like 4 hours, as long as you clock in your 4 hours, a day. Mm-hmm. Which explains why both of them are able to put out so much work each year. Yeah, with with When Big Things Attack too. Like when are you looking to start film production?
After Colorado Festival of Horror, because so much of our production staff is involved in the festival. A lot of people aren't going to be available until afterwards.
Right.
So Colorado Festival of Horror is the second weekend in September, and they generally take like a week off. I think they're going to take a week off, and then we'll try to hit the ground running.
All right. It looks like we've got another challenge coming up right after. Colorado Festival of Horror, it's coming up September 15th through the 17th. Yeah, you guys will be there on specifically on Sunday for the Killing Floor presentation, which will help to platform and announce projects in all various forms of development. Mm-hmm. So obviously, When Big Things Attack is in development, pre-production, and then we've got some of our cohorts like Ryan Polisky, Death Witch is in. I think they're in production right now. I think they're filming, and then like Dennis Vincent, he's been around the block a little bit. I think this is his third or fourth feature film that he's putting together called Mark of the Werewolf, which one of our friends, Kevin Ward, created the werewolf monster or creature, So, and there's quite a few others, Nick Goins and Adam Smeestad. I know Adam, if you're watching out there, I know I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. But they're off trail short and A Summer Away feature. I think it's an anthology film. So there's so much creativity going on in Colorado, and I think it needs to be celebrated. And I think this is like When Big Things Attack. For me, and for everybody that's not aware, I'm privileged to also contribute as much as I can to that project, because I love the idea of very accessible horror and horror comedy, to kids, because as Elise knows, I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, and some of my other works they should never see, never. So hopefully,
that's a lot of fun we've had at the convention with the comic books and with Joe's creation, in the cage. And we've got kids who are just eye level right there. They come up to the table and they're seeing the cupcake slamming against the cage, and they're just like, "What is that?"
Right.
And we had a couple of kids once kind of launch a free the cupcake because they thought it wanted out.
Yes.
So they were reaching in and they were they're like, "It should be out. It should put that in the cage," and just seeing their eyes and how that's going to affect them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Just remembering that, I swear I saw this cupcake. It came to life. It was in the cage, and just kind of being a part of that part of their childhood. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the parents. I mean, the kids are hooked, and get the parents. Hey, this ties into this book. And comics are such a great way to get kids reading too. Let me throw up the cover art. And
and that's by Larissa Hughes. Did the art.
Yeah, and she's a storyboard artist now for Netflix as well. So that's pretty awesome. Sorry, Joe, we covered you up.
You're fine.
And she did the color. She did the lettering. She did everything. There you go.
Yeah. Here's some of the attack scenes, and these ridiculous cupcakes, and you got.
We will have the comic books at Colorado
What's
Festival
that?
Floor too. We will have the comic books available at Colorado Festival Floor too. So.
That's right. Yeah, we're getting that ready to showcase a little bit more of. Yeah, these. Larissa Hughes' art is just absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is a nice iconic shot here with.
Mm-hmm. That's one of our best. Yeah. Working with the puppets, that's been a fun shot to do.
Yeah.
Dan, I don't know if you want to tell the story, but Dan gets in a green unitard that zips up so that we can key him out, and he's been running around with the cupcakes and bags of flour.
That's right. Yeah, I was on set helping out with that, working with Joe and Elise. We had a fun crew that day. Our buddy Scott Unruh was there helping out, and he chroma keyed me out so that all these things look like they're kind of free floating. A couple. Oh yeah, look at that. We got another. Is that a handheld one or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. I thought it was the hand puppets, because you made those really big hand puppets too.
Yes, they.
Did they get away?
They got away.
Oh God! Do not sleep. With the lights turned out.
Yes.
Yeah, wasn't there two in that cage?
Yes.
Right. We kind of shot something a couple weeks ago, a little teaser, playing with that. That was pretty fun. Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we had, and clearly the last 3 weeks have been a theme with Live and Undead, where we've had puppeteers, because we had Kirk Thatcher, who's going to be a guest at this year's COFOH Live and Undead, and he's a writer director of Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is so fun and charming and cute. And then Elise and I have watched no end Curious Creations of Christine O'Connell.
McConnell.
Yeah, and all her. And talk about somebody actually making monstrous pastries. She actually does, and you can eat them. And meanwhile, there's all these giant puppets around her too. And that's on Netflix. That's a fantastic show. And then 2 weeks ago we had Travis Heerman, and talking about his Demon for Hire, about a puppet PI. That's a demon, and it's a little bit more adult, but yeah, it's definitely a theme going on here. So I think puppeteering is one of those. It's not a lost art. It's just, I think, something that people are rediscovering.
Yes.
And for a lot of us, probably at least for Elise and I, we grew up with that stuff. Where Jim Henson was doing feature films.
Well, yeah, and definitely when I was stuck in Atlanta, Georgia on a layover once, and our flights got canceled, so I had to stay the night, and I went over to the Center for Puppetry.
Nice.
That they have there. And I've been in a lot of museums in my life, a lot of museums around the world, and it's really fascinating, incredible to see that stuff. But there's nothing as incredible as seeing something from your childhood, like actually getting up close to Jim Henson, puppets, and walking through the museum. And they have, at that time, they had a dark crystal Skeksis.
Nice.
And then they had, I think they had the fox from Labyrinth. They have a couple copies of these different puppets and stuff. Yeah, so it really was. That's seeing the puppets from your childhood. It's pretty amazing, especially getting that close, and the level of detail and the care that they take on those. It was incredible. I mean, you could just sit there and walk around. They had them in glass, so you could walk around, and it's just so you could see the level of detail that they put on those puppets, and it's
nice. Wow,
standard for sure.
That's super cool. The working on this and working with puppets too, like for both you Joe and Elise, what's the most difficult thing? Because in the comic book you have these cupcakes, they're flying around, they're doing all kinds of different things, and sometimes you have whole army scenes that kind of remind me of scenes out of Gremlins, where you got lots of them doing terrible things to each other and people and somebody's dog.
Well, I think for me, Scott Unruh changed a lot for us. He's a professional editor, so he's really helping coach us on how to do green screen. And then we also have Carl that works at 35 Left Studio, and he's brought us into the studio and helped us find out how to light them and given us some explanations as to how the light and the camera are going to hit. So it's just kind of actually being able to have these mentors and people to consult with to get the flying scenes. That's been a big issue. I think for me, when I've worked with puppets before, using magnets like on tables and stuff, that's been easy. It's getting them to fly. That's the challenge. And I don't know, Joe, if you have some input on the challenges you've gone through, because you're automating these.
Well, the automation is one part, but the actual design, because the initial designs that was coming up with did not look right on film or on video. So that was an important step to make some, film them, and then refine that and move on with the rest of it. I was trying to put way too much movement into these, and had to settle on the simple mouth movement. Now, a little bit larger one, I'm going to try for the more intricate movements, but that's yet.
Right.
But,
yeah, because this has taken you years to get to this point.
Well, we had a little thing that COVID kind of got in the way a little bit.
True.
But other than that, it's been fun.
Nice.
Been very educational. The design for me would be the physical look of it, defining that's acceptable to everyone is my hard part. For me, I if I can envision it, I can make it.
Right.
But is it what the rest of the group wants? That's the hard part for me.
Right. Yeah, it is a lot of kind of learn as you go, learn from the mistakes and stuff like that, or because I've been involved in this to some extent, and when I first met Elise, she had a whole basement full of cupcakes and bigger cakes too, with frosting teeth and stuff. I think, oh geez, what do you got there? Oh good Lord, what is that? Is that a layered cake? Look at the teeth on that thing.
It's our pet.
Yeah. It's got little what are the eyes on there? It's like little sugar gummies. Nice.
Can't get in from.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the cupcakes, that's the most numerous things, but you're also going to have like these, layered cakes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the comic, you've got cake, the big wedding cake, the demonic wedding cake.
That swallows people.
Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a giant, puppet. How is that going to work?
Well, I guess you're just going to have to see the movie or help make the movie. I will tell you this, though. In the earlier incarnations of it, every Christmas, people would get in it and run around the house. So it's big.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you can fit in there with a cocktail. So you can kind of run around the house with them.
Oh, goodness. I have a feeling I'm going to be that guy that has to perform this thing, aren't I?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, I am the guy that's in the green unitard, so yeah. Incidentally, we know of a few people that have moved to Denver that used to work for the Jim Henson Company, so we can always see if they're available too to help out.
Yeah, there's some folks in Colorado Springs too. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, and I think one of the thing too is obviously with film production, there's so many intricacies and so many steps and so many different talents. It's quite the it's quite the orchestration. To really make work together. Audio is key. Video or film work, lighting, performance, puppeteering, and all that. But the nice thing too is like with the local film, you have access to all this local music too.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that we've had conversations with, about tapping into like local goth or industrial and punk and kind of really making that quirky offbeat family horror movie, Elise, you've got a number of friends in the music scene that you've talked about bringing in and participating in this. What kind of flavors are you looking at in terms of the sonic support to kind of drive that narrative?
Well, one of the fun things is I have a friend from the 80s, the 1980s, that is putting together a collection of Danny Stewart is putting together a collection of music from the 80s. So some of the folks that we're still friends with and that have moved to northern Colorado, and Danny, who's actually still here in the neighborhood.
Right.
I'm actually from Colorado Springs, but he moved up here too. We were talking to him, and he's just collecting these masses of just kind of like poppy punk, kind of edgy poppy punk stuff. He's just got access to that. He's still got access to the artists. He's actually pressing vinyl albums right now, and releasing that slowly as he's getting inventory. But yeah, so he was sending us some samples of stuff that we could use, or yeah, so that's actually been really fun, is talking to people that, you know, I've known for 40 years and used to go see their bands when I was a teenager and stuff. So
Nice.
Might have a little bit of that in there.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. At you know, who's on my list. You know, we're gonna go see Seraphim Shock on
Yep.
Friday, and you know, I know it's a little name droppy and stuff, but you know,
You had him on. Didn't you have him on Live and Undead once?
Yeah, I had Charles Edward or Edward Charles, sorry, the lead singer of Seraphim, on here last year. I think it was around November, October, somewhere around there. So that was pretty
really
fun.
Nice guy.
Yeah, what's that?
He's a really nice guy.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. Yeah, so it's it's I think it's just appropriate, especially with the kids being the kind of the main heroes and the main characters. Elise, what was it like to write kids as kind of the main heroes, the protagonists of the story?
Well, the tricky part is definitely the dialogue.
Right.
The difference between, how I would have probably spoken at that age, how kids speak now. I know what their motivations are. I know how cool they were, but definitely the dialogue and kind of capturing that. And I think that you kind of helped me a lot with that, because you're more in touch with the
I'm more what?
You're more in touch with that. You actually helped me with a lot of the dialogue.
Oh yeah, yeah. For the screenplay, that was a fun process. That was a neat little collaboration. I'd write a little, you'd write a little, I'd write a little bit more, you delete it, and
I did delete a lot.
You're like, that's great, Dan. Delete, delete, delete.
I didn't think you'd notice.
Oh, after a couple readings, it's like, wait, where's this whole big? Yeah, too wordy, Dan. Yeah. That's me. I like dialogue. I mean, clearly, I talk too much. I mean, look what I do on Wednesday nights. Oh. So that's pretty cool. So we've got just a few minutes, but real quick, how can people support independent filmmakers like yourself?
Well, you can follow the website. Our website is still focused on the comic books. It's focused on the other comic books that I've done and some of the comic books that Dan's done and Joe Blazzo's done. And then, come out to Colorado Festival of Horror and see what we're doing. We've got that killing floor where you're going to be introducing a lot of the new films that are coming out in the local area and a lot of the filmmakers. And I think, isn't Ryan Poliski actually screening one of his? Isn't he screening Motel London?
Yeah, he's screening the Motel London films, and I think his new Death Wish, which is another sequel to that series. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a local festival. It's got a lot of the local filmmakers, comic book artists. You've got especially like Zach Howard's going to be there.
Right.
Gerard's going to be there. Who else? Joe Oliver's going to be there.
Joe Oliver, Joe Blazzo.
Yeah, Joe Blazzo's going to be there.
Leighton, our
Leighton Buxton. She's helping us as well with the film. So so just come out to the festival and see everyone and check out the art. Come out and meet us.
Nice. And you mentioned the website. What is the website?
WhenBigThingsAttack.com.
Nice. Yeah, we've got the Facebook page, going, it's scrolling down below. Yeah, facebook.com/WhenBigThingsAttack. And, it focuses mostly on the comic book, but hey, it's got a good audience right there. And it's something to start building on. Joe, where can people, go and see a little bit more of your work?
Oh, that's a good I need to do something. Yes. I was tagging along on my son's Facebook page, Feisty Creations, but we've neglected that one. We truly need to do something. And I need to find somebody and have them set me up with something.
You're going to be at Colorado Festival as well, though, aren't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. So, come out to Colorado Festival of Horror. We'll make a more formal announcement on when Bake Things Attack. Come by the booth and find the comic book and start there. We've got a lot of support with Colorado Festival of Horror, of which I'm the program director. So, and then we've got my partner Jeannie, who's been helping you out with being a script doctor on the screenplay, and then some of our volunteers like Dawn and Amber have been lending a hand,
and Smurf did it, help us with reading. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then of course Leighton, who's an amazing artist, awesome. And it's going to be a fantastic. The nice thing about COFOH is it's a very family oriented event and group, and I'm looking forward to when Bake Things Attack to kind of continue in that tradition, kind of that familial group project, and hopefully by this time next year we can screen when Bake Things Attack at COFOH. I don't know, we'll see.
Hope so.
I'm hoping. Let's pull it together. It takes a village. So, Elisa and Joe, thanks so much for coming on to the show and talking about when Bake Things Attack and and your love for everything, cool and creepy and with frosting on it.
And sweet.
Yes.
Very sweet. So sweet. It's got teeth, calories that kill. So, thanks so much for coming on to the show. Hang around for a few minutes while we sign off. But again, thanks for being so generous with your time.
Oh, and thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. And to everybody that tuned in, thanks so much, guys. And of course, to our sponsors, to Mutiny Information Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And to our friends at Hellfire Entertainment, thanks for rebroadcasting us on your social media, to Groovy TV, and of course to Alien Donut Films and Angela Joseph Productions. Thanks so much for supporting us, guys. To my producers, Lily Fisher, Amanda Armstrong, and Stephen Santa Cruz. Thanks so much, guys. And, of course, to everybody that tuned in tonight, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks at the Colorado Festival of Horror. Mm-hmm. Go get your tickets at cofestivalofhorror.com. And, be good, be kind, help each other out during tough times. And stay spooky, my friends. Have a good